would look over on the horizon in the direction of the lake, and you would see these spirals like a tornado. They would head towards our homes.
Welcome back. Nature has the ability to unleash many frightening scenarios, among them animal plagues that can cause untold death and destruction. So how do they begin, and will we ever be able to stop them?
For centuries, humanity has been invaded by plagues of animals that band together and cause massive destruction. In the Bible, plagues represent divine intervention, a punishment from God. Although few still believe this natural world phenomenon is a form of retribution, science cannot fully explain why they continue to occur.
There must have been millions and millions of locusts. They were just black swarms.
When they're at their fullest, it's impossible to be outside and keep your eyes open or keep your mouth open. I mean, you just can't do it.
Plagues in biblical terms are always bad news. They always represent a punishment.
Animal X travels to outback Australia to investigate the mystery of animal plagues and the devastating effect they can have on our lives. During his 30 years farming the land, Tim Cattle has encountered several locust plagues. The most recent one was the worst.
We came home and found literally swarms of locusts, so thick that we couldn't enter the two back doors of the house. The garden hose, which is green, we couldn't see it was just black. So we wouldn't let the kids come out and see them. They're scary.
Greg Buck is also familiar with the impact plaguing insects can have. Each year, his quiet neighbourhood is invaded by swarms of tiny flying creatures, commonly known as midges.
You would look over on the horizon in the direction of the lake, and you would see these spirals, I would estimate 50 metres in the air, like a tornado. They would head towards our homes, and there'd be millions of them, absolutely millions of them.
Although midges don't bite or destroy the natural environment, their presence is relentless. There is no escape for the afflicted communities.
People can't live in their natural environment. They can't do the things that they want to do. They're prisoners in their own homes. Everybody's inside. They've got the door shut, locked tight, all their blinds and everything drawn. It's just as if everybody's packed up and gone, and you can hear just a constant buzz. We would be waiting for the next morning to come along so we could leave the area. We would stay away as long as possible so we didn't have to come back and be with the midges.
Doctor of Theology Father Brian Boyle explains why for centuries people have been terrified by the idea of plagues and their message of divine intervention.
The sun loses much of its light because the sky becomes filled with these little animals. They're described as enormous swarms who cover the whole lands. So it's not just a plague, it's the sense of an overwhelming fear about what we don't understand. And the longer the plague, the more severe it is, the stronger people have the sense that God is to be feared.
Kevin Walden, an entomologist in rural Western Australia, has devoted much of his professional life to researching one of the most destructive plaguing insects there is.
We don't know everything about white locust plague, and I mean, we've studied them intensely for at least 50 years. Well, we're in the middle of a locust plague now, and if they have favourable conditions and the numbers explode to proportions simply unthinkable.
Despite advancements in technology, locusts continue to reach dramatic proportions every few years, causing extensive damage.
Once they start plaguing, it means they've outcompeted all their competitors. We are probably exacerbating the problem by our increasing our intensive agriculture. It's just giving the locusts another food source. We'll never eradicate locusts. That's all we can do is try to minimise the devastation.
Dr. Laurie Twigg is also interested in finding solutions to the problem of animal plagues. His area of expertise is mice.
While we have a lot of information about how mouse plagues function, we still don't know enough to stop a plague from forming. It can cause severe human psychological stress, but generally the plague's going to run its course and there's not much you can do about it.
Despite our technological advances, we still don't understand why this most terrifying and ancient natural phenomenon continues. Are animal plagues nature's revenge, or a reminder that humanity will always be victim to her mighty force?
People still have a strong primal primitive fear about what we don't understand, especially things we can't control.
The mysterious tales of the animal world continue to fascinate and perplex us. After all, it's said there are stranger things in heaven and earth than we can think of. You've just seen some of them on Animal X.